Yes, yes, you are.
Thank you. All right, we can start now. Today's class, I even tried to make it as short as possible because I want to make sure that people have enough time for to practice and answer questions or ask and answer questions. So I understand that Bethel gave an assignment. How many of us were able to um, complete the assignment on UX writing? Generally, were you able
uh,
to?
Sorry,
I,
please.
I I
Don't.
actually I do not know that there is an assignment.
Okay.
I don't know. I was surprised to hear about an assignment specifically for UX writing.
Yeah, after our class, I think it was either a sign up page or an error page.
No, like, sorry, Ojade. Sorry.
Yes, Emmanuel.
I didn't hear of this. To be honest, I'm even seeing some people like in the comment section right now asking
Yeah,
if
asking about
assignment.
assignments. Oh, I should have probably followed up with her to make sure she did it, but it's fine. Okay, so I want us to start with. Let me see if I can present my screen. So give me a few minutes. Let's see, present now. Entire screen. Can everyone see my screen? Okay.
Yeah, I can. I can.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Today's class is supposed to be like super, super, super short because I feel like I talked too much that last time. So yes, basically like a part two of what we did the last time. So we'll start with a recap. Since we didn't do the assignment review, I want us to let's see, let me go back to escape or let's go back to we're just 21. So I will need like 5 people to do like a recap of what they learned from the last class. It's been like a week plus. And so I need to know if we're together or if you've forgotten anything, and then we can move on. I don't want to name names. I don't want to call anybody, but I can and I will. So someone should volunteer themselves up as tributes. Adewale Jalal show. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm not really sure I got too much from the class personally, but I was particularly interested in the need to be clear in your writing, and yeah, like there's a lot you have to get right with the writing. You don't want to you don't want to mix the message. You want your audience to be able to get exactly what you're trying to pass across. Yeah, and that is very key. So I feel like, yeah, I learned that.
All right. Thank you very much, Adewale. So Adewale says that it's very important for us to be clear in our writing. It doesn't matter. Like, I understand that over the past week, you've had like a lot of things to learn. So even if it's one thing for you to run with and, expand it and blow up in the next few months, it's fine. We are thinking about a number of things. So one or two things, and that's fine. You're able to run with it. Who wants to go next?
Let me go next.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, I enjoyed the business of design, which was taken by Charles. Yeah. So yeah, it was a very very interesting and insightful session. So basically one thing I learned from the session was that regardless of where you are at the moment, just keep doing your thing. Okay. Um, maybe yeah, clients might be paying you lesser than you are worth at the moment, but with consistency you will get bigger pay and better pay. And also, if you're like into design, if you're into the design niche, and if you're like a product designer and those clients jobs, you should also have like your own NDA available. Don't just sign the client's NDA without the client also signing your NDA. Also, he advised that we should get, I think he advised that we should get a lawyer that can go through our NDA thoroughly. Okay, because some clients some hidden some hidden things in their contract, and sometimes our mind will not even go through that part. Okay, we'll just keep it and we'll just sign a contract that might affect us in the future. So yeah, that was basically it.
Thank you very much, Chinedu. Who wants to go next? Okay, I can see Ayomide Fakunda. You're muted. Ayomide, if you're speaking. Ayomide. Yes, you've not unmuted your microphone. Okay, while Ayomide figures out what's happening, let's have Bukumi, or is it Bumi? Bukumi Shonde.
Okay, so from the last UX writing class, I learned that there's a difference between UX writing, content writing, copywriting, and that it's all different. And for UX writing, you should always focus on simplicity. You shouldn't try to put unnecessary words or elongate things. Think of the most simple thing that the user can understand and focus on that. And you also made mention of, even if you don't find anything simple, write out the long stuff, write out the long sentence, and keep filtering out the words so you get something that is simple, concise, that the user can work with.
Okay. Thank you very much, Bukumi. Thank you very much. Who wants to go next? So that we've had three people. I'll say two because Chinedu gave a recap of another session, but Janelle.
The sentence that struck the most from the last session for me is the you should know your value as a UX writer, because I mean, honestly, I've known about UX writing for just a month, so basically I'm a beginner and I am not really sure if the things I'm doing is correct or anything, but that sentence struck out to me. It became the highlight of the session for me because I feel like for me to be a better UX writer, I should know that what I'm doing is important, is impactful, is helpful, so that I can continue. Every time I lose motivation, I can continue working and improving myself.
Yes. And that's very, very important. Let me share a personal let me give a personal example. So sometimes, you know as the writer, I mentioned that your work you should try and do your work as early as possible, even before the designers and everybody, even before your work is needed. So, for example, maybe you've done your work since, they are pushing out the feature, everything is already, like, it's moving so fast, but like maybe there were bugs. You're not the one that was in charge of fixing the bugs. Maybe the developer, the designer, everybody's just working. You've done your work. And so maybe the feature is finally launched or the product is launched and they're thanking everybody on the team. They might only remember that, oh, let's thank the developer, the designers, those people that their work seems like, in your face, but, and if many of those kind of things happen, you start feeling like, are these people really seeing what I'm doing on this team? But you have to remember, apart from the fact that you are demanding, maybe if you are not appreciated and you say, you guys, didn't you see that I worked? That's another thing. But even knowing the value that you're bringing to the team, understanding exactly why you're there would always keep you motivated. So thank you very much, Janelle. So we have two more people. I don't want to name names, but I can see Emmanuel here. Emmanuel. And yes, Nkim Dilim Odili. Yes, I remember you. Nkim, can you unmute your mic and give us a recap of what you learned from the last session? Nkim, your mic is muted. What about Precious? I'm calling the faces and names I remember from the last session. Precious. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to today's, can we still see my screen? So that it's,
Yeah, we still can. I still can.
So before we move on to, I have some like examples and things that we're going to walk through. Just a few examples so that it's more practical. But I want us to go through, I'm assuming that everybody, you're here, you already understand, okay, UX writing. We're basically saying we're writing microcopy throughout the product. We're trying to use words to ensure that, users have a great experience. The words that we're writing can be seen on error pages. They are seen on button labels. They are seen throughout a product. Sometimes, like I mentioned, it can be physical products. One of the most touted examples of physical airports are airports. You go to an airport and you see all those labels that let you know, oh, you are not supposed to stand here, you're supposed to go right, those little things, those little if you picture the airport like a dashboard or like a product, those signs, those yellow signs that are everywhere are the labels, they are the microcopy that help you to be able to navigate the airport better. Are we together? Those things they help you understand how to better, how you're able to get to maybe you want to go to somewhere like the US and you get to Murtala. You've never been to the airport before. Maybe the airport, the normal Nigerian way, or maybe they are just, nobody has your time. But by the time you look up and you see the signs, sorry, I should have included this, but I just thought of it now. I just remembered it. By the time you look up and you see the signs at the airport, you're able to know, okay, fine, this is where to go. This is the place for arrivals. This is the place for departures. If I go to this departure place, it's showing me that the flight that matches my ticket is going to leave in the next 2 hours. This is the place. This is where I'm going with KLM. Let me go to KLM counter. Things like that. Those are the things, those little things. They help, make a user's experience. So you also see it like that. We talked about it being need for us to be clear, concise. For you to have your tone should be, you should decide on your tone and work with it. I shared my process as well. I'm still good. I've worked on the slides. I'm going to share it together with this one at the end of the class. So today we're talking about the common mistakes that UX writers make. Like I mentioned, sorry, hold on. Give me like, I'm having a little interference. Just give me a few minutes. Okay. Oh, okay. Precious is sorry. We're still together, right? Sorry, I had to just quickly attend to something. Are we still together? Have we forgotten the? Let me turn on my video. Have we forgotten the
Yeah, Jade, we're still together.
of my class so soon? That until I get yes before we move on. Have we forgotten? Mm? Hello, hello. Have we forgotten until I get 2 yeses before we move on? So
Yes, Jade, yes, we are here.
We
see,
there here now.
I'm turning off my video now. Okay, so
Until we
back.
did with you.
So we see this like a number of times. You see, for example, a product like we see what's going on Twitter. We see, for example, ASOS and Boohoo. We see when you go to a website like ASOS to shop for stuff, for example, there's a way ASOS talks to their customers. They are very humorous, they can be nonchalant, that kind of thing. And like we mentioned earlier too, the way LinkedIn is very formal. They are not, they understand their audience. So yeah, this is so in trying to, we mentioned the rules before. We talked about trying for you to be clear, for you to be concise. Sometimes you are trying too hard, especially when for example, it's a contract job as a UX writer. Maybe they say, okay, fine, we need to quickly create words for something. You're not working on the entire product. We want to just quickly, we need somebody that will help us work on this particular section. And they don't give you all the information at once. So in trying to do that, maybe you don't have all the information and you just say, okay, fine, this is a job. I need the money. I need to be able to do this fast. And you end up just writing words that don't even fit with the personality of the products. It's just like someone going to like the way LinkedIn talks. You're now gonna start talking the way let's see a product like Snapchat. Snapchat is basically for Gen Z and maybe millennials. You now go to and gonna start bringing LinkedIn type of talks. If there is an error message, and a LinkedIn error message, for example, will be not even an unknown error occurred. They might just say, oh, an error occurred. But Snapchat would be something like, we're sorry, they will try to, be more in line with their audience. So this first example I gave you, this one is not even about, whether or not they are trying to, there's no personality in this first example. Imagine you getting an error like this and you just see an unknown error code. Okay, so what am I supposed to do with this? Like it's not even, apart from the fact of it being used, it's not even useful. What am I supposed to do from here as a user? Are you telling me to try again? There's nothing like that. It's just planned. It's just there. It's not even, apart from the fact that you're not helping me, you're not even making me feel better that something bad has happened. So this first example is like a no. This second example, we have okay, it's an error message. Looks like your connection or our server is having a moment. The emoji is, some people tend to overdo it with emojis, but even if you're angry, although you can still be angry when you see this emoji, but at least they've explained to an extent what the issue might be, so that you are not, scrambling. What if you're in the middle of for example, you have a PowerPoint presentation and the product you're using suddenly just goes off? This just at least helps you and you are able to explain to people that you're presenting to, okay, give me a few minutes. Just imagine like something like this just happens and you're just, you're just lost. You don't even know what's up. At least this one calms you down, even though you're still going to be angry, but at least you know that there is a solution. So yes, this is like a major mistake that some UX writers make. when your words don't exactly have, life. I mentioned here that people prefer MailChimp to some other. It's not like there are no other email marketing software or tools, but they remember MailChimp. They remember that, MailChimp even named the monkey icon. I think his name is Freddy. That kind of thing. It's more, it makes you feel like, okay, by the time I'm using this to talk to my customers, they will know that I am hip, I'm young, I'm fun, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's important that we infuse, I won't say infuse humor, infuse the brand's tone as much as possible while you're helping the customer. Infuse the brand's tone as much as possible. Yes. Hey, see, mistake. Trying too hard. I think, yes, I put an example here. Remember this example? Who can remember this example that we had in our first class?
I do.
Okay. You remember that we were talking about it, that it's not even, there's too much. I think someone gave an example and said, when we're trying to edit this, while we understand that, they're trying to help, they are trying to explain to the user that the reason why we don't want to give you cutlery if you don't need it is because we're trying to help the environment, but it wasn't necessary at that point. Who can remember that? Can we remember that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So that's this. So now we come over here. When you are trying too much and you say, for example, this thank you for saving the world, no cutlery. By the time you're done, your user doesn't even know what to do on this page. This is what I remember, that we resolved it to this. Remember we spoke and said that there's no need for a toggle button here. That was for the designers when they were, But basically, we've simplified it. We removed the ambiguous thank you for saving the world, no cutlery, please. It's ambiguous. Would you like cutlery? Yes, no. Simple. There's no need for you to, try to be too funny, there's no need. So let's assume that this in every single piece of microcopy in your product needs to be clear. Again, like I mentioned, they'll struggle to understand and they won't even bother. So this is bringing clarity. We talked about being clear, bringing it into context of, when you're trying. For example, in this age, let's say you just joined a team and one of your major competitors is very, the reason why, let me give an example. Piggyvest and Carrywise might not be. I want someone to give a savings example, a savings app example that doesn't have the same personality as maybe Piggyvest or Carrywise. It's Petty Save. Who knows about Petty Save? Or is it? Are we together?
I just heard about those guys today.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to look for an example. But let's say Piggyvest and Carrywise. Let's say, because they have similar people they're catering to, so it might not exactly be a good example. But let's say Piggyvest and Carrywise. Sorry, for non-Nigerian participants. So Piggyvest and Carrywise are two savings and investment apps. So they are competitors in Nigeria and they target Gen Z and millennials. So basically, I'm trying to draw a parallel between these two apps. So let's say we have, you just joined Carrywise, for example, and Carrywise is serious, and you see that Piggyvest is your competitor. And all of a sudden, you just say, okay, fine, I want to just start. I just want to go ahead and just let us be the way they are doing. Let's get into the into the funny space. Let us be funny. Let's try to. If you don't have enough, if you try to give people context, like we mentioned, in the end you just overdo it and just get you like, please, what's all this one saying? So yes, I have one example from my Facebook group. I'll put that at the end of the session. While I made some typos and grammatical errors in my presentation, don't do that to your users. Okay, are we together?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
You guys are getting it.
Yes. So yes.
Yes. So like I mentioned, this I it's very important that you these simple grammatical rules, capitalize whatever needs to be capitalized. Don't put your on other unnecessary magnifying lens. There's this thing people usually have. They're usually confused on how to do it, and it even happens to me. So, for example, you have a new feature, and you don't have a content style guide. You don't have a map. So that's like I mentioned that it's very important that you work on working on that. So these are the rules. I use these 3 rules as much as possible, except it's in very, very special cases that it doesn't work. So if you're talking about field labels, an action that you want users to do, or menu items, I mean menus. Let's go to Canva. Menu items, you see these ones, this file, resize, home, and everything. Right? So if it was home page, for something like this, the P would be home page, the P would also be capitalized. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay. So choose sentence style caps for longer copies, such as page or field descriptions. See this one now. This is a description. Can we see where I'm hovering? This add page title, it's a description. Here it is sentence style. Sentence style meaning is only the first letter that is capitalized. So you make sure these are tips. If you want to write this down, if there's anything I say today, because it can confuse people. You see people that will be using camel case at some point, and it just makes your copy just weird at all. And one thing with designers, please, if there's any designer here, I don't mean to fight, but one thing designers will always do, they will let me put on my video so that you see that I'm saying it. One thing designers always do, they will copy as it is. Nobody is going to edit it. They're not going to tell, they'll just tell you that that's how I saw it. I thought you were done editing. Nobody else is going to help you edit it. They'll be like, I thought you were done. So if you make a mistake in your copy and you think that, maybe somebody else will tell you that, except if maybe the QA or the PM, most times designers will not help you edit it. It will go live like that. So except somebody else that is not the designer. This is it. Again, designers, quote me. I worked with designers across for how many years, and it's a common trend. So Gabriel, if you like, you know that you guys do it. Yes. So it's very important that you are what's the word now? You have these tips. So if it's only when something is like super, super duper important, that's when, because again, it's a general rule of the internet. People don't really use all caps, except if it's like super, 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 super important. For example, maybe your brand name, whatever, like, please, it is, very important that, you avoid it. So now let's come to this is like the major part of this session. Who has any questions? Who has any questions so far? It's okay. In came and precious. Okay, that's fine. Sodiq says microcopy is key. Yes, it is. Microcopy is key. So if you don't have any questions, let's move on to our examples and use cases. I don't think I need. Can we all see like this? I don't think I need to. We can all see everything like this, right? Oh, it has jumped out of the page. So let me move on to this. Because I hope you can still see my screen.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Yes.
So, generally, you mentioned that you want more practical, more example. How do you measure the personality of your copy? This is Bethel Gabriel. Okay. Number one, you read it out loud, and you read it out to somebody else. You read it out loud yourself. You read it out to somebody else and ask them what exactly, how you ask them to judge. And there are some words that you use. For example, if you're looking to be somewhat humorous or casual, you have a lot more oops, informal spellings and all of that. The can't instead of cannot. Are you with me? But when you're more formal, a more formal copy would have things fully spelled out. There's no ambiguous. They are not trying to be funny. There's no it's just straight to the point. You are what's the word now? It's just straight to the point, basically. So that how I measure the personality of my copy. So for example, we're creating a new feature, and you are trying to create subtext under that feature. It's usually subtext that I try to let personality show. You're trying to create subtext under the feature where you want people to learn more. You don't want to be for a product that is serious. For example, you just say, "Oh, this." You're explaining the dashboard. I'm trying to look for an example. Let's try and do something like maybe for this presenting. Are you with me? This presenting now. Let's say doc dot new. So let's say now this is an hypothetical case. I try to look for like a lot of examples without reaching what was hard. So now let's say we're trying to onboard people. We just launched this presenting feature. Okay. So we're trying to create like a tooltip. You know what a tooltip is? Oh, my video is still on. I can see my face. Okay. So you're trying to present you're trying to create a tooltip for this feature. Let's say the personality of your feature, like everybody knows that of your products, you are formal. Okay. There's no formal, straightforward. Formal, straightforward. No, there's a mistake there. So if I'm writing a tooltip, let's say the action of the tooltip, we want people to, tooltips are usually, it's not leading anywhere. You see, when they read it, they are either dismissing or they are most likely dismissing, or they are moving on to the next one. Are we together? Okay, this is okay. So the action, what we want them to do, positive reaction. This I'm just giving like a positive reaction. Usually it's the UX researcher. They will have told you, okay, this is what we're trying to do. UX researcher, like I mentioned before, or the PM that will have done some of these things. So positive reaction, they click on present. These are not part of the, it's not part of the micro copy. Positive reaction, neutral, they skip and still use present. It's very important that you have all this information before you even start. Positive, neutral, and then negative. They exit the tool. They exit, like they click out of the page, like they are not doing at all. This is, I'm giving this example for a feature that this is, again, hypothetical example. They exit the tool. So we want our tooltip, number one, to be something that makes them to click on present. Are we together? We want something that makes them click on present. Any other,
Yes, we are.
Nothing. We want them to click on it. We don't want something that makes them
Yeah,
click
we are.
something too. And it's formal and straightforward. So that means we cannot do something that says, "Hey, hooray, congratulations, we just launched this tool." We can't do anything like that. Do you get? Exciting words are not supposed to be there. X. Are we together? So by the time we're doing something like, we know that, okay, we want them to click on present. We want it to be formal, straightforward. We explain. So usually for me, if I'm doing something that is formal and straightforward, I just explain what it does. I don't try to, deep dive into, oh, you've waited for so long. And let me turn on my video. If I'm being informal, I tend to do, oh, we've waited for so long and now it's here. You can now present, you've waited for so long and now it's here. You can now present your tool. You can now present presentations. Sorry, you can now present slides and to your team. And again, this is very hypothetical, and other people during a call to get started. Click on try it now to get started. Click present to get started or something like that. This is first iteration. Sorry, click present to get started. So this you waited for so long and now it's here. It's super informal. If this is what you are going for, if you are going for a formal, more straightforward tone, you can't pick this. So this is another way I start. I start with what I don't want. Then I start editing. I say, okay, fine. Present slides. I come and say, okay, for something that is more formal. Present slides to your team. Like I mentioned, you just explain. Present slides to your team. Present slides during a call. Present slides during a call without exiting or something like that. Without exiting, maybe before. Again, I mentioned before that if you want to, remember that I mentioned that usually one thing users know how to do is they find alternatives. So they probably look for an alternative of how, or look for a way that they've been presenting. So you can bring that in without exiting the app or without switching screens, something like that. Are we still together?
Yeah.
Okay, present slides during a call without switching screens. Our latest updates includes the present now feature. I don't like using feature, but I usually change it at some point. Includes present now. I'll probably switch it and try it now. Again, click, try it and let's try it on a call. Try it on this call. Something like that. Do you get? I wish to get. Please, if you don't understand what I just did, please let me know.
Mama, carry on. We're with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. Janelle, are we together?
Yes. Yes.
Please stop me if you don't understand anything.
Sure. But everything's fine now.
Okay.
Okay.
So This is just a practical example of how.
Hello, Jadesola.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I'm with you.
Please, can you please come again with it because I don't really get what you're doing.
Okay. So let's start from the
Yes.
question. Gabriel said, "How do you measure the personality of your copy?" Okay. And in the previous class and even today, I talked about, copy can be funny, it can be formal, it can be casual, it can be straightforward, depending on your brand, there are different personalities that you can give copy. We use different products. Every product, everything has a personality they are trying to portray. Whether for some they can, cloak it under helpful but formal. Some can say, oh, we are trying to be your friend, but formal, or we are trying to be your friend that is, chill, casual. Some can be like, oh, we're trying to be funny and, your body. So there's usually a personality for each product. So if it's saying, how do you measure the personality of your copy? For example, since I'm the one creating the copy, what I do, like I mentioned that in the previous class, I start writing. I write first, then I share with others. I write, share with others, I iterate, then write again. So this is what I do. If I'm told, I gave an example of, let's say we are about to this present feature. We want to write a tooltip for a formal product. Are we still together, Habib?
Yes, we are. We are.
Okay. If I want to write a tooltip, you know what tooltips are? When you for example, we're just launching the new feature. So a tooltip will most likely be, in this case, that green thing that flashes to show you that, this feature is new, this is how you should use it. So that's what we want to write. And I said that, okay, for a formal, straightforward product, that's the personality that we're trying to go for. We first talked about the action that we want the user to take, which is positive action. The action we want them to take is that they should click on present. Neutral, they skip and they still use the present feature or move on to other features. They don't leave. Negative is they exit the tool, and what we don't want them to do is exit. So I gave examples of how you can be formal and also informal. Okay, this is an informal. I mentioned that if I was going for informal, I would probably include something like this. There'll be exclamation marks and whatnot and whatnot. Are we still together?
Yes, we are.
Okay, do you understand now?
Yes, we are. Yes, very clearly. Very, very clearly.
All right. So let's move on to our first example. I want it to be as practical as possible. So please, you've been given, let's say this is okay now. These are practical, these are real life examples. I tried not to bring anything too abstract. Okay. This is a use case. A user is making a payment. They entered all their card details and they hit confirm. When you want to pay for something online and you hit confirm, then something goes wrong. You have a screen that you're supposed to create for the user. This one, I even made it simple. Payment failed, payment was declined or rejected. Which of these would make the user feel, which of these is a better copy? Number one. And how can you make the user feel less frustrated? Number two. So those are the questions, this first example. So who wants to go first? Who wants to try?
I think maybe.
Yes.
So I think I'll go with the latter. Payment was declined.
Okay.
More than anything, it's already shifting blame away from the from the user. It almost makes it seem like it wasn't your fault. From our end, something goes wrong, and yeah, we'll probably try and fix it. So yeah, it shifts the blame away from you as the user. Payment was declined. That's what I feel.
Okay. Okay. Who wants to go next?
Hey, can I try?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I may be wrong, but I think that neither is a better copy.
Okay.
Payment failed doesn't there's no reason, you're not saying any reason why the payment failed. Like, is it my fault? Is it your fault? Is it internet connection? Is it that I didn't enter the numbers correctly? Payment was declined or rejected also doesn't state the reason why. So maybe I will maybe I would say something like something went wrong, please try again, or I really don't know. While I think of a better copy to write, or while I think of a better thing to say, I don't think that either of these two is a better copy. Maybe we can say something like, please check that you entered the numbers correctly, or please check that you entered your PIN correctly. Something like that to
Okay.
make the user feel less frustrated.
Okay, who wants to go next?
Let me go next.
Okay.
Hello, Jadesola.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Emmanuel or Habib?
Okay, let me go.
Okay. Let me go first. Okay.
Wait. Who is going first? Emmanuel.
Let me go first.
Emmanuel.
Yeah. Okay, so in this context, given what you gave us, like the two statements that we made, payment failed and payment was declined and rejected. You didn't ask what's the name? You didn't ask we should suggest which one is better. You said we should compare the two and say which among these two is better. It's not as though I'm like trying to like push Kim's idea to the other side. But then if we're looking at just these two, payment was declined / rejected is it has a sweeter feel to it. It makes it like the first guy said, it makes it to look like it's from the end of the product and not from your end. So they are trying everything possible to like rectify that product, while you on your end will do something as well. So for me, payment failed is like telling them that this thing go work again. You don't fail. So that is how I feel. I don't know if there's any other, but that's how I feel.
Okay. I think let me now come in here. So one thing that is very, very important for us as UX writers is the fact that we should learn to read between the lines. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. So I said, which one is a better copy for the title of this last screen? Which one is better? Like that's basically which one of them is better. Not saying, oh, then it's now when you ask, okay, if none of them is better, what would make the user feel less frustrated? So the first thing, I've mentioned this several times, the first thing is you need context. As a UX writer, you need context. So when they give you this kind of thing, or they give you this kind of assignments, you have to ask, okay, I'm explaining to the user payment was declined or rejected. Like, is that all? Is the person just supposed to see it and say, how can the person make it go away? Do you get? How exactly will it help the user? Payment, like I've just explained, there's no information. Like, what is the person supposed to do? You have to understand that even if you're giving this kind of thing to write, does it happen regularly? If it's a regular error and this page will be seen often, so you should know that if they'll be seeing it often, then you should not write too many words. It's not something that you wouldn't even try to be too funny or something like that. It's the person is frustrated. If it's a regular error, it means that maybe the dev team is still working on it, but the user is seeing it often. And it's, again, payment is a very, very tricky thing. It's people's money. You are saying that you should try again. A card, let me even turn on my video. Most times when people have card or payment issues, they don't want to try again until the bank tells them it does not work. Do you get, like, you can't just say, oh, try again, because people are always scared that what if I'm debited more than once? How will credit resolution is another thing. So you have to have the context. You have to have context on why exactly is this person, like, what exactly is the issue. So if they bring something to you and say, oh, which one of the, say, okay, fine. Even if this payment was declined or rejected, sounds better. Now I'll come back. Okay, so when we've told the user now, how would we resolve this person's issue? How am I supposed to, like I said, one of your major role is to help the user use the product better. Like, that is your own role. So then you now move on. You now say, okay, fine. Something like, how can you, we've written the headline. Are we going to explain the error? What exactly are we going to do to make the user's life a lot better? Are we still together?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Like Gabriel said, you have to, as much as, even if it's something that happens often. Is somebody saying something? Okay. Even if it's something that happens often, you have to give the user, at least let them know the next step to take. Okay. So like I said, you have to ask, okay, we understand. Emmanuel, I also agree with you. Payment was declined. It sounds better. It's not the best. Okay. Because by the time you now come and say it's a screen. So this is, like I said, which one is a better copy for the title of the last screen? If you now come and say, okay, how can we make the user feel less frustrated? We say, for me, in this type of as I have, is an entire screen. So think of it like an error page. I have like a little bit of space to write something. So that means I can do a subtext, a subcopy. I've written I've picked this one, even though I'm going to iterate and say, okay, fine. Why can we explain? I asked this is what I do. Can we explain why the payments failed? Because usually, except if it is like an error that they've not been able to fix, each error is usually tied to error 401, error 5. Like, there's always a catalog. This is what the user did. This is what the user didn't do. This is what happened. Maybe it timed out on the back end. Things like that. So each error has a reason why it happens. So that's, you need to explain that. Let's say they've given a technical explanation, for example, and say, okay, payments failed because, let's even put something like the blame was on our end. Let's say, I've made this more complicated. I like this. Let's say one of our the error. The reason for the error is that we can't find, we meaning the company. Are we together? The company or product can't find one, like the two cannot find one of the payment keys, one of the secret keys. You can't tell the user this, you know that, right? So how do we explain this to the user in a simple way, and they're able to know that, and they don't panic? And we want them to what? Try again. All right, who wants to go? Who wants to go? Who wants to go? Who wants to go? Nkem. I want Nkem to go next.
Why now?
I like what you said. Hey, it's 5:29. Oh yeah. Let's go next.
No, it wasn't me that said it. I was just repeating what Emmanuel said.
Okay. So who wants to go next? Oh, yeah, let's be. We still have 5 examples to go through. Yeah. Who wants to go next? Who wants to go? Benjamin is thinking. It's brainstorming. Who is he passing the baton to? Who is he going to give it to, Muiwa or Habib? Who is he passing it to?
Mad.
Can I try again?
Yes, you can try.
Let me just try, even if I don't get it. I don't know, maybe we can say something like, the fault is from us. Please try again in a few minutes.
The fault is from us.
Or the fault is ours. Please try again.
Yeah, but thing is, it's not enough. It's not enough to admit fault, right? You have to be as clear as possible, right? Because if you just say the fault is from us, yes, it puts the blame on you, but what exactly is the blame? Tell me exactly what you did wrong. You know what I mean? So I feel like
Our system is down. Our system is down. Our server is down. Our server is down. Please try again in a few minutes.
We're getting somewhere. Who wants to go next?
Okay, how about if in the case whereby, let's say we want to give it a goofy feel, we can be like, it's not us. I mean, it's not you, it's us.
It's not you, it's us.
Yeah, it's not you, it's us. Our payment gateway timed out, so try again after 30 minutes. Anyone, I just give you an example.
Okay. You said our payment gateway timed out.
I don't know if payment gateway actually times out. I just use it as an example.
Yeah, doing well. Let's try again. It's trying. Trying is the most important thing. Like, if not, books are written is one word at a time. Say it's not you, it's us. Our payment gateway timed out. Our system is down. Let's try again. Who wants to go next? I think we can even work with this. So yes, we have this as the title. The sentence. So payment was declined / rejected. So who wants to vote? Let's vote on the one we want to work on. It's not used as our payment. I like the second one. So this is what if it's a, remember I mentioned that you cannot exactly say that we can't find one of the secret keys. You cannot find it. You cannot tell the user that it does, like, it's scary because number one, it's payments, it's tricky. Just imagine you are paying a pay stack and you see something like, you can't find a secret key. Say, hey God, my PIN. They've exposed my PIN. People don't understand that for an API, a payment API to work, maybe, you need a public and a private key and something like that. It's not necessarily your PIN, but that's not what they saw. Like, my PIN, they've exposed my PIN, something like that. Do you get? So you need to, as in being explanatory, you need to know that you are not giving things that the user does not need to know, and things that would alarm your users, especially context. Payments, very, very important. Payments and data collection, those are like two of the most, I won't say two, because everything is sensitive. Do you get? Payments, data collection, there are two things that if you don't watch your words, people will just say, we cannot find your data. Say, I don't understand. Just imagine Google Forms. Maybe you use it to collect information from thousands of people. You should not get there. They are saying, we are trying, we cannot find your data. People will start panicking. Do you get? So it's very important that you know the kind of words to use. Say, I like this one. It says, it's not you, it's us. Our payment gateway timed out. If I want to use this, what do you say? Okay. Well, we experienced some technical issues. Please check again later. That works, but that can be very. This is 2021. People see this a lot. An event is not. For example, today we're experiencing technical issues. It can be vague. Nothing is perfect. We're working on being better versions of us. Elon Musk, Denny. Oops, even humans break promise a second chance.
This better one is long.
These ones are nice, but in terms, like I mentioned, it's a page that they can tend to see it again and again. So just imagine you saw it the first time, it was cute. You saw it the first time, it was cute. Oh, nothing. You now see it again. Like, what's this one? Please, I beg, I want my money. Do you get? I want to be able to see what's going on. You have to also have that context. How often would the user see it? Oh, oops, do you get? They are nice, but like again, it depends on the tone of your product. How often would they see it? If it's a very common error, imagine it happening 10 times and you're seeing oops, human breaks, like you would, the vex that the anger that you use to message support will be very strong. Okay. Sorry, we're experiencing some technical issues on our end. Please try again later. Again, this is good, but it's a little too vague. So yes, I would say, okay, because of our time, let's edit this. It's not you, it's us. Our payment gateway timed out, which is actually even similar to the other one we worked on before. It said it's not you, it's us. Our payment gateway timed out. Again, I'll check with the developers to be sure I can use this. Do you get? Because you can talk to the PM and it says, oh, actually, that's not what happened. You can say it this way. Do you get? Like, they'll give you more context to what happened. And maybe like a solution. Okay. Please try again later, or please try again in a few minutes. Sorry, does someone want to say something?
Like I wanted to like say that that one makes sense, but like we could use something that is more generic, like something that doesn't necessarily maybe involve payment gateway or something, because
Okay.
some people probably don't even understand what payment gateway is. So,
Okay.
so we just tell them something went wrong, like instead of something went wrong on our end or something. Please try again. But
Yeah,
like
that's
that it's not you, it's us. Gives it kind of makes the person comfortable to know that okay, I'm not the one that is at fault. But like then you tell them something went wrong on our end. So we're the one that's at fault. So please try again.
Please try again later. Please to get, depending on your tone, on your personality, on it even depends on what you've even said on in other parts of your product. Do you get? You can't be using the same funny lines everywhere. You just look like a joker. Do you get? So you always iterate these things. So yes. Do we understand what we've done here? I think this is fine. So any of these two work. Okay. Are we together? So let's move on to the example. So this one is very simple. So you're on a website and you want a demo for this product. You know what a demo is? There's some products that you don't just click and buy. Sorry, when I say product, because I am in the software as a service space, and this is actually where UX writers really thrive. So yes, software as a service. You want to get some products that you cannot even see the pricing of the product. You have to either request for a demo, or they call you, they book you, and all of that. So very quickly, let's just say which call to action, which of these, sounds better and why? This is very simple. I want us to just spend like 2 minutes on it. Do you want to look at it again?
Can I try again as
Yes.
usual?
Yes. So before you go, call to action is a button. It's a button. The way this presents is going to be, so we're saying, that's what a call to action is, just in case, Yeah, you can go on, please.
Okay. The first one, request a demo, sounds like okay. The one I prefer is receive a demo. Request a demo sounds like we are request for it now if you want. If you don't want, they go. Receive a demo sounds like, oh, we want you to have this demo. We want to give it to you. So click on this button to receive one. Now request a demo sounds like, I don't know, you like
Sorry.
collect, like don't collect.
Can I
I
say
may be
something?
wrong.
I
Yes, you
always,
can.
I always
Okay.
disagree with you, Kelly.
Thank you very
So,
much.
yeah, requested demo is way more better. Or rather, it's better than, let me see, the other one, receive a demo.
Yeah.
Reason being is that request the demo, the website is actually giving the user the autonomy to request for a demo. So you're giving the user the choice. Do you understand? Then receive a demo is more like you're forcing it into their neck, like take this demo. So
The opposite of what I said.
yeah, that is
I,
it. So request the demo is more like, yeah, okay, you can ask us for a demo, I will give it to you. Now we are giving the user the autonomy to do whatever it is they want to do. Whether they request for it or they don't request for it. So yeah, that is I feel request the demo is better in this sense.
okay. Can I
Okay.
go?
Yes, please. Let's together.
So basically, request a demo, right? What it does is, apart from it gives the user the option to choose, and it makes them feel like they matter, their voice matters. So obviously, other things in the website would have told them why they should request for the demo. There would have been things to try and convince them to take the demo. So if the level to which those things are convincing or not will now be what decides if they want to request for a demo or not. So you saying for a demo is basically giving them the option to, after all we have said, I hope we've been able to convince you to now take the demo, you know what I mean? Kind of thing. So yeah, that's what I think.
All right. Does anybody else want to go?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay, with respect to how the user sees request a demo and receive a demo, I feel to me, Sha, they both sound alike. Like their gravity sounds basically the same way to me. It's just that request a demo sort of sounds like they're going to send the demo to you later on. So like you're requesting for it, doesn't mean it's going to come now. Receive a demo has the vibe that okay, you're getting it spot on the website, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So everybody has tried.
Sorry, can I go? Can I go? Okay.
You can be very fast. Just be very fast.
Yeah, I will. Let's just, I'm going to disagree with the last person that just talked, Pukumi. Well, the thing is, initially, the guy who said that request a demo like gives you that freedom of autonomy is actually correct, because when I'm requesting something, I'm like, okay, I know want. But if it's received, it's just as if you're telling me take this thing. It's by force. So, and if you check it out, most software services or most products who use this particular request a demo call to action or receive blah blah blah, they usually use request a demo. It's something that has been tried and proven.
So let me now come in. You are looking at it from a different angle. So let me bring us back. So what is a demo basically? What is a demo to your company? A demo is you book a time slot and then they would actually walk you through the product. So the way we're presenting now, they will show you like it is in real time. Okay, that is how it works. It's not pre-recorded. When you book a time slot, you have a call and they will show you how the product works. But for some other people, a demo, they have it in form of a webinar. They're only using it's something that you can actually just click and watch or something, but they want to be able to follow up with you. So they need your emails and things like that. So that's where you actually start from. Which type of demo is it? Is it pre-recorded or it's, you have to book a time slot? For me, if it is, because most times, yes, most times is actually when people are saying a demo, most times actually it's very, very, very rare. Like what I think who spoke last? I think it was sorry, I think it was Emmanuel. It's very rare that you see that demos are, even if it's pre-recorded, there's some form of human interaction that makes you know that, oh, just get on a call with us or something. And most times they are in real time. Do you get? So that's when this request a demo. That is why it is mostly used, and that's why it's been tested and trusted. But I get you guys' point. If you are to receive, if it was more like a PDF or you're downloading something, maybe this receive a demo would work. But usually in this case, in this scenario, request a demo is, more of a CTA that works for this context. I don't know if you guys are with me. I'm trying to be more
Yeah, but with you, very
clear
perfect
to both
explain.
sides. What is it? Okay, so now let's move on to our third example. This one is very, very simple. So I found this sign up page. What do you guys think?
The send code, sorry.
Do not challenge me on this device again. What's going on? What's going on?
Who wants to go? What? The first thing when you see this, you be like, as in, are we fighting? Is this war? Like, what exactly is going on?
Good.
And you're like, do not challenge me on this device.
My stomach.
And you're like, okay.
Wait, is this real? Is this real, Jade? Is this real?
It's real, but I'm sure they must.
Yeah, I've seen this before. This example before.
What? It's actually real. Do not challenge. And the major issue with this kind of thing is basically most times it's a translation issue, which is why I said that if just try and use the simplest words so that by the time they are translating to English or another language, it's not picking the most complicated one. Do you get this thing? I think Shipstead, it sounds German. I didn't even check, but it sounds German. So it probably, in translation at some point, it's something happened. So let's quickly, who wants to rewrite this? Who wants to go? Janelle?
The send code and the verify CTAs.
What did you say?
The send code and the verify CTAs feels very confusing for the user. Like what should I supposed to click? The send code or the verify? Are there differences between it? And well, the send code is beside the what do you call that? The space where you need to input something. So usually that's my first option. But the verify under under the text or something, it's in color blue and it's highlighted. The color is different from the other. So I'm confused on what should I supposed to click after putting my number.
Yes. It's actually this is not even where you put the number. So this page comes up where after you put your number. So number one, the first thing, then these two buttons, this send code and verify, they are confusing. So I get it that it's about usually we see resend. Maybe you've not gotten the code, there's that part that they say resend the code. So that is what this I think that's what this send code is supposed to be for. But in terms of hierarchy and all of that, by the time someone sees it, you pop here, you're thinking, okay, let me put my number. But I've added my number before. It's just confusing. And so if you want to rewrite this, is somebody writing in the chat box? Okay. Okay. Oh. Okay, you can't edit the phone number. Yes. Okay. Sorry, let me come back to this. So it's assuming that you've put your phone number on the screen before, but you come here and it's saying send code. Usually it's when you put your phone number and then there's the send code beside the phone number button. Am I right? Are we together?
Yes.
You know, when you do for Taxify, Bolt, you know, it's when you put your number, there's the button that says send code. Then, you know, we will now come to this, do not challenge me on this device again. But in terms of design, I don't know if there's any designer here. This recent, the button, I think it can be a little smaller so that it's a recent code thing. That's the microcopy.
Maybe you send it to the other.
Okay, please, can you mute your mic? I don't know what that is. Habib.
What's going on here?
Habib. Can Habib mute his microphone? Okay. All right. So this is either okay, resend code from when you don't, and it shouldn't even be on the same line with enter code because it's what's the word now? It's not the same thing. It's not something that people are supposed to click. It's the next step should be when you enter the code, you verify your number, right? Then if you did not get the code, that's when you now get a resend code button. So number one, there's a design issue, and then there's a microcopy issue. So if we were to write this, do not challenge me on this device again, what are we changing? What are we editing? Jerry.
To be honest, I'm not sure we know what we are editing.
Yeah.
Like to be
okay.
Oh, who is speaking?
You have the floor.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Jerry, you have the floor.
Okay, so please, can you bring back your screen so that I'll be able to point out what exactly I want to say?
Okay.
Okay, so I think for the resend code, you could remove it from the button and just make it text that is faded out but only comes alive when whatever the algorithm feels as if the code they sent wasn't received, maybe because you've taken too much time to enter a new code. So it comes alive. That's when it now calls your attention that, oh, there's even something there. All right. And then for this, do not challenge me. This very funny thing. I don't know if what they were trying to go for was the same kind of thing where we sign into our accounts on devices and the platform asks us if we want them to remember us later.
Yes.
But it felt very threatening.
Yes.
Yeah. So
yes, that's actually what they're going for. But like I mentioned, I think it's mainly a language issue. So yes, yes, you're very. I see merit to your suggestions, Felix Ayala.
He kind of did justice like to everything. So they do not challenge me on this device. Should have just been like remember me on this device or anything closer to that. That makes it easier for the person to know, okay, this is what they mean. So yeah, that's easier. And then the send code, we already said it shouldn't, and it should be resend code, not, and it shouldn't be a button. Yeah, it shouldn't be a button. It should just be text, but it should be instead of waiting for a while before allowing the person to press resend, you could put it under somewhere and like underline text or change the color such that the person knows that okay, if I don't get the stuff, the button, the text they're calling out. And then there's another issue with this page. Usually on this kind of page, there's usually like you should be able to like go back if you if the phone number that you typed is wrong too. So, and I don't think that one is there. So that's just what I would say.
Okay. Okay. Yes, so should we go back actually? This resend code should actually even be as close to the phone number as possible, so that you know that they mean that they should resend the code to this XX where they've hidden the phone number. It should even be as close to the phone number as possible rather than to this place. So yes, thank you very much, Felix. And who wants to go? I think, yeah, we're getting close to. I'm trying to meet the 6 o'clock time. So yes, we said that we critique the design, which is why I said that you're very integral to the process. Sometimes I'm the one giving design advice because one thing I've tried to do in my work, as much as I've seen a lot of designs, I've seen a lot of things, I try to always remember that I'm not supposed to think like the designer. I'm not supposed to think like the developer. I'm not even supposed to think like a writer. I'm supposed to think like the user. So if, for example, I've worked on like a payment product before, I don't just carry the experience of, oh, my voice is not there. I don't just carry the experience of the product I've worked on before and just bring it directly into a new product. No, I remember that the people that is a number of people that will be using the product I'm working on might not have encountered another product before. Fine, they might have been using the web, so I can even make it as similar as we said. I think I stumbled on, is it Darian's class? Making sure that you are not, using buttons and things that are out of place, like the old trash can and all of that. You're using things that you're recycle. You're using things that they know, but you don't make things technical. Okay. I lost my train of thought. So yes, which is why I would probably, I would probably say, remember this device, the way Felix said, remember this device, add this to my devices or something like that. This device is safe, something like that. Yeah, not something as strong as this. Okay. Are we still together? I think we can take.
Yes.
Okay, the remaining.
we are.
Yeah, my last two examples are more. They are more. What do they call it? They are more interpersonal. Relating with people. I said, it is again.
Please,
Very practical.
let's have them.
So we have there's a group I'm on Facebook, and somebody says, I need a bit of advice on how to tell off a fellow designer I work with. Something I mentioned in the last class. They just say, Jadesola, we need content. But hers is even worse, or I think it was a he. Just sent to say, we need copy here. They don't give context, things like that. They wait until the last minute before saying, we need copy and things like that. So the person asks that, how exactly do you manage to get through in this kind of situation? Do you get, like I mentioned in the previous classes, as much as you try and you say, I want to make sure content is ready. I gave how I try to work at least 2 sprints ahead. That's the way I try to make sure content is ready. But sometimes it doesn't work like that. For example, maybe they while working on a feature, they decided, let us modify and add something that wasn't even in the initial tickets or product documents, feature documents. And so you've not worked on it, and they just send me, I need copy here, and they're supposed to launch. You don't have context, nothing like that. But you also have to remember that you're all together. So this one is very simple. I know that a number of people might have this issue, but like I wanted to bring it here so that you understand that this person that sent this person is already a UX writer. Like, person is in a team and was, you should understand that even as the person has been working for years, is still facing this issue. So for me, at first, when I first started and I was trying to make people understand why, we need to take time and everything, I will first ask you, I'll leave a comment because once you leave a comment, at least everybody on the team will see, or everybody that is, please, what am I supposed to do? You need copy. Like, I need context. Can I have a link to the tickets? Do you get? I need to talk to the PM. Like, what exactly am I supposed to do? What's this frame, this screen that you say you need copy for? What exactly is the user supposed to do here? Things like that. And then after you say, when they give you, if you're able to explain to you, I'm usually let me turn on my video. I'm usually very, very hardball. Like, sometimes I'm very hardball. If you don't tell me in time, that feature is not going out. And you people did not tell me. Sometimes it can be like that. If you're working in a team that for example, the product owner understands that you know how to do your job. So if there's a lag, they know that it is not your fault. Do you get? So when you play hardball and you didn't explain to me, so I did not work on it. If you people go and put lorem ipsum on it, but you ask for context. So the first thing in that kind of situation, it might have been an oversight. Ask for context. What exactly do these frames do? What exactly is happening here? And you go on and you now say, okay, something like, can I be part of your design process? Like I said, sometimes you have to insert yourself into the process. For example, especially with people that are transitioning, maybe you're moving from, I think, was it Nkem or Precious? I said they're currently doing communications. You have to insert yourself into the process and be like, I need to be there from the beginning, from even before when you people are designing. Like, even the minutes you decided that let us modify this feature, let us add a new thing. You have to remember that as you are explaining to yourself as designer, you also have to explain to Jadesola that you also have to explain to the UX writer that this is exactly why we did this. This is the problem that we saw. This is the problem that we encountered. So you also have to remember that. And then sometimes there was a time I actually did that, but after a while it didn't even work on that. But some people actually just you have like a standing worksheet where anybody that needs you to do something, you have a worksheet. You say, what's your request? What's the purpose? I need context. What does he do? Do you get, things like that? Just things that make your work generally, smoother and, easier. Are we still together?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So these are more, practical examples. I'm trying to rush through so that we are not, then yes. Oh, I didn't add this last. Oh, there's a question. Okay, what do you say? Okay. Okay. So can we read the question? I agreed to be UX writer for a small team building an app. This app already has a browser version, so I'm not sure where to start helping this team. Any thoughts on how to lead this project from a copy perspective would be great. So, are we done reading it? So what do we think? Before I give my, I feel like I've talked a lot. Let me use that one to drink water. So what do we think about this person's request? I don't want to name names. Well, I have like 10 minutes to go. Felix, thank you very much. Thank you for standing up. You can.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
I'm with you, Felix.
What you what? I got carried away. I thought you were saying that.
You raised your hand is raised. Ask the question. You don't know that your hand is raised?
Yeah, my mouse
I was just about to even ask people to volunteer. So it's good. So I said, what do you think about this request? Oh, like not even just about the requests. There's the product she gets. What exactly? Just like basically what we've been doing, we've been taking ideas, small ideas and making them big ideas. So let's go.
So I'm supposed to advise this person, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If they already have a browser version, that means they already have copy on the browser version, right? And I think usually the app is an extension of the web app. Yeah. So I think the first thing would be to go through the browser stuff and check if there are some like inconsistencies and stuff like that. Like if there are copies that you need to change that are not okay and stuff like that. Because firstly, that's where because that's the first touch point of your product. That means the people that you are going to onboard to your app would probably have already used your web app already before, and that means you're actually just building the app. You are just building the app, which means the web app already exists, and people are still using the web app for the meantime they are still building the app. So go through the web app, check the copies that exist there, and if there is need for change, talk to the project manager and the product manager and let them know that okay, while I was not on the team when you guys did this, and in my professional opinion, I don't think this is good enough and stuff like that. So get them to change those stuff. And if you now have a web app that is like okay, at least according to your UX writing, whatever, then you can use that to like build the real like the app, although you still have to change something because stuff like click on desktop now will have to change on phone and stuff like that. And then another thing you would need to do is you have to watch the brand architect.
Oh, have we lost Felix? Can you guys hear me?
Can you hear me?
Okay, now
yes, we can.
Yeah, I can.
So
we
is it
lost
conversational? Is it
when you said brand archetype?
okay? Yeah. Oh, sorry. You have to check the brand archetype of the company, so you know the kind of words they use, the way they behave. Are they conversational? Are they goofy? Are they like there are some brands that their voice is like old. Some they are like okay, what the new gen and stuff like that. So you have to check that. And because you have to make sure that you are consistent across all platforms, not that somebody uses your web app and person like, oh, this is like I don't know, Gen Z kind of stuff. And then the person gets to the mobile app and then you are like giving them strong voice and stuff like that. So you have to be consistent across. So that's all I can think of.
Yeah, that like yes. Thank you very much, Felix. Does anybody want to go next? Because this is a problem I'm hoping that a lot of people would encounter because you just got a new project, a new job. Okay, is anybody still raising their hands? All right, let me, okay, Nkem. Nkem, you raise your hand. You're raising your hand again. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I wanted to be sure.
I'm sorry, I can hear you. My hand is not raised.
Okay, it was raised for a bit. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. So, Felix, thank you very much for your response. So you were very right. This person agreed to start off. I'm a UX writer. They come and say, "Oh, we want you to develop. We've started developing this app. We already have, customers that are using the web version. So we now said we want to develop the app. So you even have like a place to start. But the thing is now like, most likely, it's not a UX writer that did the web version. So in that case, like for me, I would take my time, go through the website. They usually call it like a content audit, make a list of everything, each page, what is there, what is on the dashboard, do an audit, everything, all the error messages, everything that exists, write them down. Are we changing it? What needs to be changed? Edit it. What needs to be clearer? Write them down. You don't have to go live with all the changes, because, for example, if you make a change on the web version and maybe you now want to go to mobile and you see that it's not really working. In the end, you now have something that you don't want to have something that is inconsistent. Are you with me? So you just sit down and again do a lot of, you sit down, spend time with the products, which is super, super important, except if it's like an unserious company or an unserious products. They will give you time. As much as they say they want you to hit the ground running, they will give you time to spend time with the product, use it, understand it. And in trying to understand it, you will now go to support team. If you are a UX writer and you're fighting with customer support or customer success, you have to make them your friends. You go through the support tickets. What are the issues that customers are having? You see, there's one thing that people really like. Let me give you an example. There was, I think, we launched a feature that we had been calling it. I'm trying to see how I can talk about this without giving too much out. We were calling it PDF lookup. Wait, that's what we kept on calling it. Like, that was the name of the feature and everything. That was the internal feature, even all through development. I've not even started working on it. Everybody were doing this and everything. But by the time I went and I went to do research, do you know what people kept on? Because people called that thing pass from one form to the other. They did not call it lookup. So whatever we're doing that doesn't have information as pass from one form to the other, pass from database to the other, they would not understand. When we try to say lookup, it's like, what is lookup? It's literally the same thing, but we did not say it the way they know. So by the time you look at support cases, you look at support articles, you'll be able to know that, okay, these are some of the issues that customers have been raising. So by the time we're writing on the mobile app, we're changing things, these are some of the things that, we need to fix. Then you now sit down, okay, with the PM and the designer, which is one thing that if you like, I usually do my own wireframing and all of that. It's very important that's another thing. It's very important that you know how to do wireframes. I usually do my own on my book. I'm even just learning how to. I usually have a notebook that I write all these things and draw inside. But it's very important that you learn how to do like digital wireframing, which is why I mentioned that you have to probably learn how to use a tool, something like Figma or something like that, so that you're able to better communicate with your team. And so you're able to explain that, okay, these are the things we need to change. These are the small changes in your audits. Yeah, going to list in order of priority. This is critical. This is urgent but not important. This is urgent but this is urgent, this is important, this is low priority, things like that. So by the time you're done with your audit, and then you're able to say, okay, fine, team, how soon can we have these changes up and things like that. I hope you guys have not lost you. Okay. I prefer talking, which is why I did not include it in the slide, so that we're able to walk through it together. Are we still together? I've spent more than my 10 minutes. Are we still together? We're rounding up. Class,
Yes.
you've forgotten. I'll put it together.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much for not forgetting. Okay, so we've come to the end of my presentation. Basically, I included some resources that really helped me. These are, I go through almost every. This is the group I was talking about. It's a very chill group. You know, giving gems every day. Someone asked about nice portfolios. I included some of them that I like, some style guides that I like, and are super helpful. If you have to create a style guide, you can look at what they've done and see how it relates to your brand. It might not be the same, so it's most likely not going to be the same. The way, as much as Polaris is for Shopify, Mailchimp, and everything, and these are some UX blogs that I always read. Once I follow some of them on my Twitter, so once they have new articles, I read through them. So we've come to the end of our class. I really do hope we're able to learn a few things today. Are we still together?
Yep.
Yes, we are.
Together we are.
Are you Bishop? Mute your mic, so please. I've been talking for like 2 hours now. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
We're still together. So if you have any questions, you can raise them, things like that. And let me know what you think. Okay. Where's Gabriel? We have ended the class. Are you still in a noisy place? Oh, so Gabriel is in a noisy place. So you wouldn't be able to. Okay, Bethel is joining me now. Okay. So yes, we have come to the end of the UX Design Bootcamp. Apparently, it's my class that's ending it. So she's about to give the vote of thanks.
Hi, Jade. Sorry, guys. My day has been so horrible and hectic. But
Hello,
we move,
hello,
right?
Jadesola.
Yes.
Okay, somebody has a question. So sorry. Hi, Abib. You
Okay,
can ask
okay.
your question.
Yes, I wanted to ask about the resources for UX writing. Maybe you can provide some.
Yes, I included them. This slide I'll share with Bethel. She'll definitely share with you. So there are links. All these are links. So I use this. I read here. This daily UX writing,
Okay,
like a challenge. I use this to test my copy. These three: copy.ai, good microcopy, Hemingway. Very, people might it's
sorry,
controversial, but me,
I
I
can't
use
see
it.
any link.
You can't see my. Sorry, I've stopped presenting.
I can't see any link. Is it
Sorry, I've stopped presenting. I forgot.
okay?
Let me show you now. Can you see now?
Ye-
Yes.
No,
So
I
all of
haven't.
this,
I can't now.
don't worry, I will definitely share this with you. Bethel, I will share this
Yes,
with
Daddy.
you
Yeah.
after the class.
Why even sending out an email to you
Okay.
after this class to send in all these slides that were used for it? Okay, Abib, do you have another question? Okay. So, in the absence of no questions, hi
I
guys.
have a
N-
question. Hi,
Hi,
Bethel.
hi.
No. I think that's all.
Okay. I'm so sorry that today started really late. It was beyond me, sincerely. Like an emergency came up, and I handed over to my teammates, and they were still here and there when I got back. But I'm back now. I hope everybody's fine. Jadesola's class, Jadesola CA, I can't thank you enough because the gems that you have dropped from the first session to this session is beyond anything I have read about UX writing. And I'm so glad and I'm so happy that I was we were able to do this, you know. So yeah, guys, please help me thank Jadesola. Jadesola was shy to have this class, yeah, to have this session, the first one and the second one, but she killed it. And I'm sure everybody can agree that she killed it. So thank you so much, Jadesola. Thank you so much. We'll be bringing you on some other time. That's like a gist for after now. We'll be bringing you some other time. And yeah, it's going to grow into something bigger. So guys, today is the last day of the design boot camp. And I must say, this is a huge achievement for me. I wish I could have give the detailed story of how I had this idea, how it came about, and share it with you guys. But I must say this is a huge achievement for me, and I'm grateful because I couldn't have done this without you guys. So many of you have been here since day one, coming for every class since day one, and it's been overwhelming. So much joy here. So thank you guys so much for being a part of Design Bootcamp 2021. Yeah, next year hopefully it's going to be a physical event, so you can meet all the speakers physically, collect their numbers, build networks physically, and on the group chat. If you want to leave, it's very fine. But if you want to hear my gist, you can stay and hear my gist. So you guys
It's fine. I like gist.
okay, so you guys remember on the group chat when I said I was going to announce a big surprise after Design Bootcamp. So we are launching.
Hello, what's up, hello, Jadesola.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Yes, I said, you, which other platform?
Okay, I think
Maybe
he's
on
asking.
LinkedIn or Twitter.
Okay. Okay, she's on Twitter at the Jadesola.
Okay.
Um.
Okay.
Sola. Okay, I sent the handle to the chat section.
Okay. Same chat. Okay.
So guys, remember when I said I was going to announce a surprise after on the last day of the bootcamp on the group chat? So we are pivoting into a design school. Yeah, we're creating an education platform for beginners, intermediate in design, and we currently have a lot of investors willing to that have been pushing me to do this. Yeah. And name of the school is called White Space Inc. That's White Space Incorporated. So White Space Inc. is going to be giving you guys premium content. We have premium speakers from all over the world. In fact, people that you watch on YouTube are going to be having live sessions with us, yeah, sometime this year. So we are pivoting into a design school where it's going to be majorly on YouTube, where we'll give you live sessions. We have drafted out a curriculum from design experts, where we had like a panel session, and we drafted our curriculums for everybody for beginners, for intermediate. So if you are just starting out in design, you can come to a YouTube channel and you are very sure that once you finish those videos, you are going to be an intermediate designer. You're going to be good. You're going to build your portfolio. Yeah, I remember when Jerry's class was on and we mentioned that we were going to be designing together. So there'll be design sessions with your favorite designers from Twitter, from YouTube, from Instagram, where they will come on, yeah, and you'll be part of the class. You ask questions. It will be like a roundtable session, and you watch us design. You can design along with us, various things. We have a book club, and once Corona is over fully, yeah, we'll find ways to make it more physical where we can hang out. We currently even have a gym membership, yeah, where a gym wants us, everybody in the community to just come and flex in their gym. We currently have internship opportunities too. So once this design bootcamp is done, and once we give out tasks and challenges, from those tasks and challenges that we're going to be giving out, yeah, you are going to automatically be linked to an internship in a company. So we have companies who are ready to invest in young designers, and they're going to go through our platform for that. So we're going to be having portfolio reviews, so many things that I'm even so overwhelmed to say right now, but we know we'll be dropping it little by little so everybody does not get overwhelmed by so much information. But yeah, after today, we're going to be moving to Slack because it's a more professional platform. So in case we have speakers or people that just want to, observe the room, or go through our works, yeah, they can just be added to the Slack channel. So we're going to move into Slack. Our community manager, Okwe, will be reaching out to you guys about the Slack channel. So if you want to join the Slack channel, yeah, the link will be shared on the WhatsApp group chat. Yeah, so I'm not the only one heading this. You get to meet our co-founder. We have two co-founders, and you get to meet the other team members, yeah, over time. So yeah, so after now, if you want to leave the WhatsApp group chat, you're fine. But if you want to wait, Okwa is going to be dropping the Slack group link by tomorrow morning. Yeah, so that everything is fresh off. Yeah, so yeah, by tomorrow morning, you could join the Slack group and we'll give you more information. But if you want to leave the WhatsApp group now, you are very free to. So yeah, guys, I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to entice you about this great opportunity that we're giving to, and everything is free. I think that's another catch. And the same way, people always ask me why I like doing free things, but I'm of the mentality of the idea that value can also be given for free from my end, but it's going to cost you your time and sacrifice. Yeah, so I believe that valuable things can also be free. So everything's going to be free. Sessions are going to be free. But if you want to have one-on-one mentorship with any of our speakers, then we'll talk price. Yes. So yeah, I hope, yes, you guys to refer your friends also, you know, tell your friends about us. Yeah. And I really hope everybody learns one or two things from this design boot camp. Yeah, the videos are still on YouTube. So you could go back on YouTube and rewatch them, send them to your friends and are just starting out in design, and you guys are the main reason why you're my main motivation as to pushing so far. Yeah, and in the month of March, I'll be having a free one-on-one session with a couple of people. So I'll send it to the group first, and my family first, so that anybody that wants to register would register. So guys, I love you all as usual. I love you. I love you all. Thank you so much. As usual, you could go on Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, and tweet everything that you learned in today's class and how much Design Bootcamp has impacted you. Let's make this trend. Let's make this all pumped up. Yeah, and the hashtag is Design Bootcamp 2021. Love you guys so much. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely day. Bye, guys. Thank you so much, Jade.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.